find yourself just pushing through all the obstacles during the day, and by the end you feel totally exhausted, or worse, you wake up exhausted? Well, it doesn't have to be that way. And the difference is creating a compelling future. What a compelling future does is it creates this magnetic force that pulls you forward instead of having to just rely on sheer willpower all the time. Now, don't get me wrong, persistence is important. In fact, I would say persistence is the only 100% guarantee of success. You just got to keep going. But one of the biggest keys to persistence is having that compelling future. What I mean by that is you have to have a clear vision that helps you to keep moving forward. Unfortunately, there are so many people that are trying to accomplish goals and trying to achieve these things, but they don't even know why, as crazy as that sounds. I want you to remember that in order to grow, you have to get on the other side of that obstacle. That's where your next level is. But one of the things that I teach my clients and my students is the difference between push power and pull power. Push power is the energy or the focus you use to just push through obstacles or the situation. Like I said, it's just sheer willpower. Now, willpower is important, but it's going to run out. It's a limited resource. You can kind of think of willpower as like a fire starter or kindling when you start a campfire. It burns really bright for a minute or two, but it's going to go out if it doesn't have something really more significant to continue to burn. But the pull power, it comes from the compelling future. It comes from having that deep emotional understanding of not just what you want to accomplish, but where you want to end up and who you want to be when you get there. The pull power is like the big logs that you put on the campfire that once they finally light, they just continue to burn and burn and burn. You're looking for that fuel that just won't go out. I also like to think of it as like a Jeep getting stuck in the mud. Your willpower is like the wheels of that Jeep. You can hit the gas and probably make some progress, but eventually you're going to start to spin your wheels. You're going to start to dig yourself deeper. That's the problem with operating on willpower, because eventually without that compelling future, without that pull power, you're actually going to end up making things worse. You'll actually wear yourself out before you get even close to where you want to go. But what if you had a winch in the front of that Jeep and you attach that to a really strong tree? And once you anchor into that strong, compelling future, that winch is going to pull you forward almost effortlessly. That's the true power of a compelling future. And yes, you need willpower, but it will run out eventually. You have to have that compelling future to continue to pull you forward. So how exactly do you create that compelling future if you don't have one right now? Well, first off, I want to say it's okay. This is something you have to be intentional about. And if you haven't done this up to this point, don't beat yourself up. In fact, congratulate yourself for being here and for taking action, for wanting to create that compelling future and wanting to be intentional. So the first step is to creating your compelling future is you got to allow yourself to dream and fantasize. Now, I know that might be difficult, especially if you haven't dreamed in a while. Maybe you've been in a really difficult situation. Me and my wife, after our 8-year-old son was diagnosed with cancer, it was really difficult for us to be able to dream about anything except for surviving the next, couple of months. But it's critical to be able to imagine an amazing future. So what I want you to do is write down all the crazy dreams you have. Don't worry about what people are going to say. Just open up and let it flow. The second thing is you're going to take a few of those dreams and you're going to find the core values, the most prominent core values in those dreams. Is it independence? Is it freedom? Is it honor, significance, whatever it is? Write down your top 5 core values and see how they connect to your dreams. It's really important to understand the why of what you do so that you can actually lean into that. So many people will focus so much on how to do it or what to do, and they don't focus near enough on why. The reasons come first and answers come second. And then the third step is to take your dreams and your values and imagine the legacy that you want to leave. What you want to be known for. For some people, I'll tell them to write down their own eulogy. What do you want people to say about you? What impact do you actually want to leave on the world? What do you want to leave behind? And then when you have your dreams, your values, and your legacy in hand, it's time to experience that compelling future right now. And you can. You know that when you vividly imagine something, your brain reacts exactly the same as if you were actually experiencing it. True story. So think about it. We've all imagined that, like, the worst case scenario when someone we love is maybe they're out late and they haven't called. We're thinking, what happened? Did they get in a wreck? Are they just ignoring me? And we experience it like it really happened, even though maybe their phone just died and they couldn't get a hold of us. But we're experiencing that situation like they really did get in a wreck, or like they really are ignoring us. So when you imagine it vividly, you're experiencing it just like it's actually happening. So I want you to create a picture of your life in like 10 years, where you're living, what you're doing, what your house looks like, who's around you. Picture this, really picture this in your mind. And if you close your eyes, it helps. And then find a scene, a specific moment in the future. Is it a holiday? Is it a family gathering? Are you standing on a stage? Are you on an exotic vacation? Just think about that specific scene in your mind and just let it sit there. Now start to see the sights. Start to hear the sounds around you. Start to smell the smells and feel the air or the sun on your skin, and really, really dig in and feel that moment. Now I want you to go even deeper. Allow yourself to truly attach and feel the emotions of that moment. Feel the joy, feel the freedom, feel the connection and the love. And don't pull back. Allow yourself this gift of your compelling future. The only goal or compelling futures that we're ever going to reach are the ones that we're connected to emotionally. Emotions are the energy that drive us every day, whether we want to admit it or not. You know, I always used to think that I wasn't a very emotional guy. But then I realized that everything we do is based on emotions. You know, I regularly experience anger and frustration and indifference. All of those are emotions. It just depends on the emotions you want to live by. And then once you have that scene, that picture and that scene and those emotions, then the last step is, while you're in this state, while you're seeing and experiencing and feeling your compelling future, it's time to write your story. Now, Tony Robbins says, change your story, change your life. And it's so true. It's time to stop living the old story. It's time to write a new story, one with a compelling future, one that's going to create that pull. And once you do this, you're going to be completely unstoppable. And hey, if you're a real estate professional, I'm a real estate coach. If you want to really help, if you want help in realizing your compelling future quicker, instead of having to do all of this on your own, you want to learn how to stop relying on push power or that sheer willpower, and you're ready to design your compelling future that will pull you toward your destiny. Click the link in my bio and let's set up a free discovery session. Let's find out where you are, how to get you to where you want to go quicker. Thank you for being here. Please like, share, and subscribe. Take some time to design your compelling future and start experiencing the pull today. Until next time.